So friends, hello everyone, hello from China. Everyone, anyhow, today we will have a car review. New Li Auto L9 Ultra with a new active suspension, albeit the most popular car. That won the hearts of many people, not only in China, but also in the CS countries. Let's find out how it actually became better, how it handles. Let's see. Let's take it for a test drive, make a detailed review of what has changed inside and outside. So let's go. First, we have a dual color appeared. Next is the front LEDs. This strip, here in the Li Auto car can change color either to orange when with the car you communicate, because here we have microphones all around you. With the car can interact, tell it to drive out of the parking space, call it over, wave your hand, it drives up to you, and in principle generally talk to it, even tell it to show its suspension capabilities, and it starts a demonstration for you, tell it to sing songs to you. It can also do this for you and recall a song. Open all doors. Oh, cool. Matrix headlights. Finally, they made matrix headlights, but there is no possibility of projecting onto the road surface. In principle, if you compare with competitors offer this. Here we just have matrix headlights. Well, nevertheless, thanks for that. Next is look no parking sensors. They are here removed. They use a different technology. UWB is a wireless communication technology using ultra-wideband for the carrier signal and allowing data transmission over short distances, and provides accuracy within a few centimeters. If, for example, we are going to park, our display will show all the same as with parking sensors, that is the car will see both in front and behind in terms of size. The car has become longer in length. It is already 5,255 millimeters. Width is exactly 2 meters. Well, and the height also became slightly larger. The wheelbase also increased by 20 millimeters. So yes, the car has become larger. The third row has much more space. The rear axle steers. The brakes are by wire group battery of 72.7 kilowatt hours. ICE generator of the third generation, 1.5 liter, the same turbocharged, but its plus is that it became much quieter. Fuel consumption decreased. Mine, for example, shows 8 liters per H100 here. It already shows 6 liters per H100, if to be more precise, 6.3 liters per H100. The wheels here we have are size 22, 285 by 4022 Michelin tires. Pilot Sport Energy, suspension capabilities, of course. Here's surprise. Everything they showed us at the presentation, the car can do all of this. That is, when we lean into a turn, it doesn't roll. When we pass speed bumps, it goes through this much smoother. So here the handling straight up moves to a new level. Next is the handles. They also changed. Automatic doors appeared, and also we can open them in the usual way. We lift the handle, the door opens. By the way, doing this is very easy. You literally just touch it and it already helps you and opens the door thanks to these sensors. They scan 180 degrees, and accordingly the car sees if someone is standing nearby. But if we say open this front door, then the sensor accordingly doesn't see. The rear door, when pressed, it will only slightly open the rear door. Here, all these details, they placed special, as I understand it, sensors, so that when closing, we don't pinch our fingers. For example, I press here, and it immediately, the door stops. It won't pinch our fingers. And accordingly for children, it won't pinch their fingers either. And I also like the retractable running boards. When they retract, fold up, they are practically not even visible. They really worked out this detail nicely too. This chrome has also changed with this kind of coating. Spraying it looks much more elegant. It is somewhat darkened. And if we take the regular version of Li L9, not Livis, then we will have the usual, exactly the same chrome as on the previous models. The first difference, the color cannot be changed. Only white color. Then the next thing, the car doors, they do not open fully. That is, you pressed it. It only unlocked this way. We open it, but the close button, it remained. That is, we open the door, press the button, the door closes. But if you open it, it doesn't open this. Wait, there are no cameras. Here they only gave one chip, this Max 1, which delivers 1280 there, but on the Lizon we have two chips which deliver 2200 and plus tops, much more powerful performance. And the main difference, here we don't have active suspension. Here we have dual chamber air suspension, and accordingly it cannot perform the same as what the Livis can. The LED strip also changed. Additional sensors appeared at the back here. And let's look at the trunk. Since the size of the car has increased, the trunk has accordingly also become a bit larger. And here we also have a small niche. Basically some small things can be stored. At the press of a button, the third row automatically folds right away. Or we can choose either the left or right seat and also fold and unfold it. There is a 220V outlet. There is, by the way, I noticed an interesting point about the cigarette lighter. Let's say we lifted this board and with something, are doing something here, arranging things so as not to hold this board, open this hook and like that. Accordingly, we are already doing here our own things. Here we also have this, I understand, in order to open the charging port flap here. Outside of China, you can rent a spare tire. A spare to rent, you can attach it here, it holds well, doesn't dangle, doesn't make noise. Here, additionally, I see speakers appeared. The audio system here. They really worked on it. 33 speakers, decent, like that. Next, let's look at the door. Car seat is completely covered. The bottom is also covered. Inside, even here, everything is also covered really well. In terms of materials, they did a great job. There's an auto button door. And then there's also such a handle for us to open the door ourselves. Inside, they added such wood, more developed side support. You sit really well in the car. A huge number of adjustments. There is an ottoman. So look how far the ottoman extends. There is zero gravity. For the first and second row, you don't even need to switch seats. Here I have a lot of space. There is also legroom. Here we have pillows, and they, by the way, are heated. This also surprised me. And here inside you can feel the wires in the headrest. Finally, speakers also appeared because competitors have had them for a long time. There are two wireless chargers with ventilation, also completely covered, by the way. In this place, it seems to me much more convenient. Right here, this part we can also completely slide back. The armrest, the space is just like before, two Type-C ports and two cup holders here for the back row. Look, you can open the display by tapping. For the passengers in the back, here on top in terms of materials. But this is not Alcantara, something like microfiber smooth pleasant material. Two large mirrors. You can adjust the light and warmth right here. We also have a display. You can turn it off and just use it as a regular mirror, or turn it on and basically the picture is very good. Awesome. Sounds 5,440 watts. The wow effect is present here. 5C charging stations charge very quickly. So let's look at the display. What I wanted to say, for example, when we turn on the heating on the side, I can select these zones here, and here I will have heating, and also the cushion is also heated. If I turn on the ventilation, there are also different modes so that it either draws in the air first or vice versa, blows it out. The picture is magnificent here. Now, 6K resolution, 90 Hz compared to competitors. I feel they still fall a bit short, but here they did a really good job making one single display. There is none of that separation. Very good picture. I think on camera you won't even notice that flickering. This reminded me of the Tesla Model S car. There, tactilely, it is the same. It feels so pleasant to touch. There are absolutely no lags at all. And also, let's say, since we have a refrigerator, I can also open it this way. Here is the glove compartment. Now it has positioned itself automatically. I press the display, it opens. You can, by the way, set a password, and accordingly no one will open it. Then you just enter your password and open it. They covered everything completely. It is really big right here. We have a section for air fresheners, 3 scents to choose from. Basically all the same. Also double glass at the press of a button. 2 levels. You press it and within a minute it dims. The glass becomes really dark. and we can additionally open the shade on top. We also got a button. It is very convenient, either in the usual way like this, or there's also a button here. 2 tables. We also have a mirror here. We can adjust the warmth, brightness, tilt. It cannot be adjusted, but on a i9, after you buy the car, you can add the tables. They will be adjusted automatically. There is no such thing here. Climate control, heating, ventilation open, for example, close. This is the display on top. And there's also a refrigerator here on the sides. We can unscrew all these parts completely. The refrigerator, we take it out of here, and at home, easily wash it, because you never know. For example, we forgot something in the car. There, I don't know, a sandwich or something else. A whole new life has started there and so on. We can easily remove it and wash it well at home. Actually, a great solution. Let's say I'm showing so that it closes. Here's also a curtain closed. So let's do it once more. I'll show 1, 2. The door also closes. There is such a function. Here we can use the buttons on the armrests to raise it as well. And accordingly, when we turn on 0 gravity, it can also lower slightly and take the required position. More comfortable. And here we have 2 cup holders. As for the materials, everything is stitched. Everything is great. There are buttons for ventilation, heating, massage, and 0 gravity. Let's, for example, demonstrate. The seats all retract. We also have heating in this area. Heating here. And heating here. Hold your hand like this, and it moves. The display moved closer. Turned on a movie, selected what you need. And then after 10 seconds, it will retract back. We have special spots. We can install a table here, and it will also move along this area. For example, if you open the refrigerator, it also moves automatically. The table is large. It can be divided into 2 zones, either move it to the left or to the right. It can also tilt this way. Next, let's look at the 3rd row comparison. Say with the previous Li Auto car model. Here there are no steps, flat floor, and the legs, they are in a more comfortable position for me. I can also recline the backrest by 45 degrees, but in terms of materials, in the 3rd row here is plastic, but underneath everything is covered, and the glass here also dims. There is ambient lighting, there is climate control. Well, listen, basically the 3rd row has become more comfortable than it was before. There are also special connectors. I can place a clothes hanger here to hang clothes. Oh, by the way, in the future the system will also support Apple CarPlay. So we are waiting. We'll see. Everything is in English. Different modes. Electric, petrol, hybrid mode. Turning radius is 5.3 meters. I can turn off this function, and the usual standard turning mode is 6 meters. Since we no longer have that division line, we have a single display for the driver. There are different widgets here. And here we can display maps. And here this zone was left for the passenger on the right. So here, turn on a movie. For example, I can also distribute this zone either in the center, or choose the left part or the right. Oh, by the way, also here optionally they added a tow hitch option. So we adjusted the steering wheel to a comfortable position. Turning radius is 5.3 meters. The rear axle is steerable. Okay, well, let's hit the highway. Let's go out. Let's see how the car behaves on the highway. Then we'll also drive over speed bumps. We'll measure the acceleration from 0 to 100, because now we have, well, first the main change, of course, in the Li Auto L9 Livis car. This is a fully active suspension on an 800-volt architecture. Next, brake by wire. I'll tell you about this a bit later, because many people will say that it is unsafe, although they have anticipated many things here. Next, these are electric motors. They also became more powerful. Now, 2 electric motors here give us 571 horsepower. HUD display, it has become much brighter, much clearer. And listen, even though it didn't increase in size, because initially it seemed to me, well, basically everything is the same, but it became clearer. For example, I drive from Tianjin to Beijing, and on the highway, my eyes is really humming, and there is just such noise in the car. Of course, it is not very pleasant to drive it on the highway, but overall, around the city, there are no problems. Here, the ICE works much quieter. Really very decent what they showed us at the presentation. All these Moments body rolls, they work here. You can really feel them. This suspension, it doesn't give you that softness, like air suspension but it is smoother, more comfortable. Now we'll drive over a speed bump. Here I am changing lanes to the right, to the left. Completely different sensations. Plus here we have even more developed side support. Listen, this was very much messed. Now we've got onto the highway driving 90, and listen already, I can say, compared to my car in terms of noise isolation, it is already good at a speed of 96 to 56 decibels, 54 to 55, negative 56 decibels. The car has become significantly quieter, and this is us driving now in gasoline mode. Now if we compare the car, say with competitors Nio ES9, so there we have a 48 volt system. It works completely differently. That is, there we have on each wheel a hydraulic pump installed. It responds much faster. It scans 1,000 times for SE content, and the wheel can change and adapt very quickly to the road surface. Here though, it is a bit different. Much more power to each wheel. It can push, and the pressure there is higher. The car can lift up and drive even on 3 wheels. It's much more interesting to steer. Next, let's look at the turning radius. Here we have it 5.3 meters. In principle, we can also do this, change all this in the configurator, choose 6 meters, acceleration from 0 to 100. Now here it is 4.9 seconds. In general, in Lixian cars, I also like the software. The software here is just the best of all that I've tried. Yes, some competitors have it cool too. For example, in my car, when the car tells me that I need to do maintenance, I say to the voice assistant so that he could sign up for tomorrow to do maintenance. He asks me for the address at which dealership we will do it. Then he asks for the time, and all of this by voice. I just told him, let's go there at 10 a.m. He signed up for the maintenance right away, and these moments, they win you over. There are many of them. Also here in the Li Auto car, they added a function when we turn on the microphone, and on the third row, it is duplicated. And accordingly, we can communicate with each other. With the third row passenger, there is also such a function. I would like to also have a glasses case here, but I don't have it here. In comparison, let's say, again, with competitors, if you take the Zeekr 09, you can get the Ultra trim. It will even cost a bit less. So in principle, I like the exterior more. Zeekr's interior is much more expensive. Zeekr's, but the suspension here, yes, you can see that they really invested a lot of money, even driving at a speed of 100. Now, the engine sound in gasoline mode, I practically don't even hear it. And this seems like a big plus to me. Again, on the highway, there's no such buzzing like in my car. As for the brakes, here they are, by wire. I think many will immediately say, what if, for example, something happens there or short circuits, they will stop working. Here they also thought through all these moments for each wheel we have there, for each brake system, 2 wires. If, for example, one wheel completely lost connection with the brakes, we have the other 3 working. If 2 wheels lost connection, we still have 2 wheels, even if 3 wheels lost connection with the brake system. Then even 1 wheel for us can brake, then the next one, since this is after all a series hybrid car for us. The hybrid system here acts as a generator, and on the principle here, we also have recuperation. We can choose recuperation, make it stronger, and the car thereby, again, will slow down. I like the suspension of Zeekr cars. 8 times when I tested it with an anti-roll bar. You can feel how it handles. It is more like compressed, and you really want to drive it dynamically. Li Auto is of course cool, but in terms of feel, a little bit like a roller coaster for me, emotionally at first. When I watched the presentation, there was a real wow effect. I wanted it, but then I looked at the interior and somehow it seemed a bit too simple here made. But overall, summing it up, I would still say the car is good, again, in terms of handling, great and safe. The only thing that seemed strange to me was that they removed this display here on the steering wheel. It was always convenient for me, say, to quickly switch the mode or something else. In principle, when looking at the speed and signs, I always see this, for example, both on the head-up display and here on the side, all this information is shown. Now, it is only here in 2 places, all the information. I recall, for example, the new A2 M9. There, yes, the configured display has also changed. The picture is just perfect. Everything is great. But when, for example, you touch it, it was just hot. It heated up so much. In fully electric modes, our range now, according to the CLTC cycle is 420 kilometers, but the real numbers are still around 350 to 320 on my own car. Now my battery is completely insufficient. Here we have, now in China gasoline prices went up. I wish the battery was larger, since gasoline used to cost around 7.8 yuan. And now I filled up yesterday at 9.2 yuan per liter. Well, I'd say that is expensive. It has become significantly more expensive regarding the voice assistant with artificial intelligence. Again, many functions are so well thought out here, how it handles this. I also really liked, you can tell it, for example, let's go to Starbucks, then let's stop by, say, the office, then home. On the way home, let's say, also, let's stop by the gas station. It will organize all this for you, your entire route completely, and show where you can stop by, where you can buy coffee, where to refuel, and it will do all this more smartly. So, but speed bumps, of course, you still feel them, but it goes over them very differently. On my car, the suspension there feels as if loose. It is too much like a ship, like you are floating on waves, but here the car feels different. This year, of course, the Chinese are surprising. Look, and this is M9 Li Auto Livis new, then also Leopard, also the Fangzheng Bow. I think it is impossible to catch up with the Chinese. Look at the Germans, for example, what they are showing. Yesterday they presented this new Mercedes GT. Listen, the price there will be under $400,000. But the exterior look is somehow like, it feels like China bought out all these designers. So, well, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, it became more powerful, much more powerful. The engine roared 4.9. 4.91. Listen, but it became faster. You can really feel it. Well, you can feel it, yes. It handles well. Of course, you feel the weight. It did get a bit heavier after all, because after all the battery got bigger. So, right now, let's say we drove onto the curb. That is it. Now my car's left side will rise and the car will level out. Active suspensions on every car. Now, yes, it is not like air suspension, but it is much smoother, handles much better. Like, take expensive German cars, for example. Then, it seems to me those who spat and didn't want to, they refuse to buy a Chinese car under any circumstances. They should try this one. Now, new Li Auto on active suspension. Not cheap, but in comparison with competitors, if you talk about, and this one, it actually costs almost 600,000 yuan there, and even the last year's model. Constantly paid options, paid color, paid interior. Wheels are also paid if you take larger ones for everything. You will pay extra, and the price there, of course, goes to outer space. Aluminum 185, 218, 226. Zinc galvanizing. So aluminum 152, aluminum 140. Here's already zinc galvanizing. In general, you can see that they really invested a lot, did a good job on the paintwork, no questions at all. Also, cool. So now we have the suspension in the high position. Let's see, 25 in the standard position, 21, and also what available colors do we have from this range? Free colors, these two are paid, two-tone colors also paid 20,000 yuan. If you choose all options to the maximum, all options, then our cost in China comes out to 535,800 yuan, well, not cheap, of course, for such a car, but the suspension here, listen, is completely new and gives completely different feelings. And the functionality itself, the software itself, and the chips, plus it is just like a robot on wheels, I would say. Well, and with this, our video review has come to an end. Thank you all. Dear friends who watched till the end, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, more to come. Until, see you. Bye.